I would like to thank Ms. LeBron for being such a great teacher all year and just being real close to us.
I just want to thank Coach Ayers for being a great teacher, always keep me motivated and make sure I keep my grades good and keep me updated with my grades.
I'd like to thank Coach Washington for pushing me to do my best and to finish my work.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for making class exciting every single day and giving us the opportunity to learn to the best of our ability.
Thank you, Ms. Fowler, for always listening to our complaining during pre-cal and taking on our class. You really helped us all enjoy third block.
Oh, well, I appreciate Miss Colson because she's always giving me advice about what I should do in my life or in my hard classes.
Coach Sarah, thank you for pushing us to be our best and for always telling us that we're more than good enough.
Ms. Hallfield, thank you for teaching us and making us laugh every day.
Thank you, Coach Ramsey, for always pushing me to do my best.
Ms. McClure, thank you for helping us strive to be our greatest.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey, for being so positive and making fourth block my favorite.
Thank you, Hollis, so much for being the scrub that you are.
Thank you, Ms. Hendricks, for empowering me every single day. You're the best.
Thank you, Dr. Timmons, for always caring about us and for helping us with anything that we need.
I appreciate Coach Chill for being the best cheer coach and teacher ever.
I appreciate Mr. Craig for getting me through the hard times and always helping me with school.
Thank you, Mr. Horton, for teaching us to be better musicians.
Thank you, Mr. Earps, for always giving me a handshake and brightening everybody's day.
Thank you, Coach Wilson, for helping me strive to do my best and show me that hard work pays off, and for keeping me in the gym and help me work every day.
Thank you, Coach Boyd, for pushing us on and off the court. We love you.
Thank you, Ms. Craig, for making my class challenging. I love you.
Thank you, Ms. Trejo, for teaching me how to roll my R's and making Spanish enjoyable.
Thank you, Mr. Selby, for making my class fun.
Thank you, Coach Edwards, for always giving us encouragement and helping me strive through multiple injuries and setbacks and teaching me that I can do anything if I put my mind to it.
Thank you, Mr. Ostrom, for putting up with me at 7:30 every morning. No matter how much I complain about chorus, I really do love it, and I love you. You're the best.
Thank you, Ms. Blockwell, for making this year the best one I've had, for helping me with all my classwork and everything that you've done. You're a great teacher, and I hope the best for you.
Thank you, Ms. Hopkins, for making class so great.
Thank you for all that you do for us, Coach Bogan.
Thank you, Coach Mellon, for making football practice fun every day and caring about what happens in our lives outside of school.
Thank you, Mr. Manlin, for all you do in treating all of your students like your children.
Thank you, Carolyn, for being a great inspiration to me, one of the biggest role models in my life, and for making RTC more enjoyable than any class at Chapman.
Thank you, First Sergeant, for being a great inspiration and teaching many life lessons inside this class, and thank you for making it very enjoyable.
Thank you, Ms. Smith, for being like a mom to my class.
Thank you, Coach Carty, for making history class always fun every day. And thank you for helping me see what great values can be made in a history teacher.
Thank you, Coach Melly, for always inspiring us to do good.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts, for helping me break out of my shell and for helping making theater a big part of my life.
Thank you, Ms. Williams, for making government my favorite class this year.
Thank you, Mr. Sloan, for being helping hand every day.
Thank you, Ms. Burnett, for letting me enjoy art for the first time since elementary school.
Thank you, Coach Gray, for making me a better person. Who you with?
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins, for making our class fun.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for motivating and encouraging me.
Thank you, Coach Hodges, for being Coach Hodges.
Thank you, Coach Batson, for helping me grow as a person and player this basketball season.
Thank you, Ms. Moran, for helping me and making math class fun. I love you.
Thank you, Ms. Loud, for teaching me Espanol.
Thank you, Mr. Bowling, for giving me a taste of art in my last year of high school.
Thank you, Coach Carr, for always being there for me and supporting me through my high school years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Match, for being such a kind teacher and helping me in chemistry when I needed it.
Thanks, Coach Skinner, for being so cool and funny and weightlifting and never getting mad at me when I don't do anything.
Thank you, Ms. Settle, for all your hard work and making your class fun every day.
Thank you, Ms. Jiggers, for being so passionate about your job.
Thank you, Ms. Dupree, for being the best science teacher I've ever had.
Thank you, Ms. Nutmaker, for being an awesome teacher, being laid back. You're really cool.
Thanks, Ms. Stewart, for helping me out every day.
Thank you, Matthew, for being the best art teacher ever.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, for being a great chemistry teacher.
Thank you, Coach Ginger, for everything you've done and helped me become a good calculus student.
Thank you, Ms. Humbach, for helping me with my hard work.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe, for being a great bus driver.
Thank you, Ms. McClary, for answering all my questions about math and helping me through the semester.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt, for making me work hard and try better.
Thank you, Mr. Lipscomb, for playing country music and teaching me math.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for being a great Google Apps teacher.
Thank you, Ms. Osmore, for being nice to me.
Thank you, Ms. Back, for always being there to help us when we need help.
Thank you, Ms. Hall, for making English Junior Honors really fun and enjoyable to go to, and for making school a better place to be.
Ms. Coon, thank you for pushing us to be our best and always being available.
Teachers rock!